Coming home to Grandma's garden. Welcome children everywhere. Come and play in Grandma's garden. Songs to sing and books to share. We'll learn about the world around us.
Hello, friends. I'm so glad you stopped by today. I have been thinking about mud. What have you been thinking about? Today we are going to do a little painting with some mud. Have you ever made mud pies or just got your hands in the soil when it's wet and played with that? I like to do that. I like to feel that wet soil. And today we're going to use soil that we've turned into a mud paint. People have been painting with mud, with soil for many, many years, even more years than I've been alive. So today my supplies are, I've got a hammer, a strainer, paint brushes, I have glue and some water, my paint paper, and I have two different kinds of soil. This soil is a soil called clay, and it's all dried out. And then I have some soil in here that's a darker soil, it's potting soil. You might put a plant in that. So before we get started, though, I would like to teach you a poem about art, creating art. So I will teach you the signs for the different words in the poem. And the first one is art. Let's make some art. Use your little pinky and the palm of your hand and draw a curvy line right up your hand. I'd like to make some art with you. The next one is smile. So you get to wiggle your fingers and bring a big smile like that to your face. I'd like to make you smile. And the next sign is for the word time. So this is the letter T. When you're signing the alphabet, tuck your thumb between your two first fingers, and then make it go around the clock. Make your time, time, turn around the clock. Could you spend some time with me and creating? When we create, those ideas come out of our head and float around in the world, and it's so fun to share those with others. So you create, creating for a while. And we could draw a circle which goes around and around forever, a circle does. And that's as long as you want to create with your friends, that would be wonderful. So let's try the whole thing. I'll go slowly so that you can get all the signs in. I'd like to make some art with you. I'd like to make you smile. Could you spend some time with me creating for a while? Let's do it a little more in rhythm this time. I'd like to make some art with you. I'd like to make you smile. Could you spend some time with me creating for a while? Now let's do our project. So when you make this project, you'll want to cover your table with a plastic cloth, or you could just do it outside. This is a great project to do outside. So I've gathered two different kinds of soil. I showed you this one a little bit ago. Notice this has, I dug this out of my own yard, and it has, it's even got a hair in there and some sticks. This soil is a real hard soil called clay. You want to let that dry. If you find some dry soil, you want to start with that. So we've got some clay soil, and we'll get that one ready first. So I've got some pieces already here in my box, and the big chunks don't make good paint. So you have to find one and break up a chunk of clay. And if it's just you painting, you and a friend or some grown-up in your family, you don't need a lot of soil to make this paint. So put that soil, that chunk of soil, in a shoe box or some other little box to catch all the pieces when you're done pounding. So I'm just going to pound a little bit because that's the most fun part, is to use your hammer and make a great sound with your hammer. You ready? So you pound the soil, that chunk of soil, until it gets into little pieces. And then you take some of the little pieces, and I've got a little container here to catch this. Maybe I'll set it on my plate in case I make a mess. Then you take some of these little pieces in the tea strainer, and then you kind of just press them until you get lots of little parts in there. So I'll do a few more pieces. Maybe I'll pour it like this, some of the pieces that broke up, and we'll see. You sift it. That's kind of a fun word, sift. It's hard to say. So you sift it until you have enough, about that much. And actually, I think of that, I used the wrong box, so I'm going to put it in with my other clay that I did earlier. So we'll put those over there, and then we'll do the blacker soil. Now this is, so I'll hold that over there. And here is the potting soil. That's a lot softer, but there are also many sticks and things in there. So we'll pour that in here. You can even see a little bit of it coming out of the strainer. So you want a real fine powder. That's what's going to make the best paint. So I think that's enough, like that. And you can press it with your finger if you want to make more come through the little strainer holes. And once you have a little bit of powder, so we've got a darker powder and then this clay powder, then you can mix up your paint. So I have my containers with my two different types of soil. I'm going to sprinkle the clay one here. And we'll do the black one there, the darker soil. And then I just need a little bit of glue. We'll mix up the clay soil first. So a little bit of glue, just have some fun putting that on there. And then a little bit of water. I know we dried the soil, but we needed to dry it so that we could pound it. And then you take a brush, any size brush is just fine, and you mix it up. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more. Hi, buddy, I'm glad you came today to visit with us. Until it's like this, maybe the paint that you might use at school. There we go. So now we have our paint mixed up for that one, and we'll do the same here. A little bit of glue, that's fun. And if you're outside, it doesn't matter if you spill. And not too much water. Just enough to make it so you can spread it on your paper. And you mix it up. And if you have different kinds of soil in your yard that you can dig up, you can even get different colors, different shades of brown that will show up on your picture. I think I'll add a little more darker soil here to create our paint. I don't think you can save this paint. This paint maybe should go back into the soil and compost this paint. So let's make, let's see, I've been working on drawing a bee, so I'll see how I can do today with that. So we'll make a circle at the top. Here's our first circle. We'll use our darker soil for this one. And then another bigger circle. For the middle, we've got a bee is an insect, so it has a head, a thorax, and then the abdomen has a kind of a pointy part on the bottom. Those are the three body parts. And then we'll use our clay color soil for the wings. Or maybe I'll do the bumblebee stripes first. So we'll put a stripe in the middle. Just a little more brown and not as dark. Another stripe. And big stripe on the bottom of my bee. And another stripe in the middle. Should we use this color for our wings too? Let's do that. Here's the big wing out that side. And another wing on this side. That one didn't get big enough. That's okay. And then two little wings coming off this way. That almost looks like a bee. I think it's missing its antennae. Let's use the darker soil again for that one. So how about a straight line at the top and then a dippy line on the side. There, I have a bee. I've been practicing that. So you can make your own paint with soil. That was fun. Try that sometime. I'd like to do a song for you today called Ooey Gooey Mud, and it's written by a friend of mine named Michal Carmi. I like saying her name. That's just as fun as Ooey Gooey Mud. And she said I could sing this with you today. Ooey Gooey Mud. I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling really glad. Well, yesterday was raining and it made some people sad. Looking out the window, I know I'll have fun because the rain turned the dirt into ooey gooey mud. Ooey gooey mud. Ooey gooey mud. Even though it's gray out, it's not half bad because the rain turned the dirt into ooey gooey mud. I'm playing in the ooey gooey mud today before the sun comes out and quickly dries it all away. Some people don't like mud and I just don't understand because ooey gooey's so much better than dry sand. Ooey gooey mud. Ooey gooey mud. Even though it's gray out, it's not half bad because the rain turned the dirt into ooey gooey mud. I'd like to make some art with you. I'd like to make you smile. Could you spend some time with me creating for a while? Thanks, buddy, for stopping by. Thanks, friends, for coming to see me today. Come back again soon. I'll be right here.